Welcome, teachers, parents, students, and children, to Kurt, Gert, Jazmine, and Bagel's Reading Hour. This is an unusual book with phonics embedded in the text, highlighted in red, underlined, and finally segmented and blended using the Dolch Fry high-frequency word list. The illustrator of the front cover, Sami Munoz, is here to engage you with a story about friendship. Sami?
Kurt, Gert, Jazmine, and Bagel. Kurt was a beagle who lived at 33 Mert Lane. His friends Gert and Jazmine were also pedigrees. Gert always walked by Kurt's home, even though her house was 1 block down from Mert Lane. She told herself she was Kurt's neighbor and this was normal, but was there more? One wintry day, Kurt invited Gert over to play. Jazmine was scurrying down Mert Lane. The temperature seemed like it was 50 degrees. There was no sun, only a cool, chilly wind. As she was walking aimlessly, Jazmine saw her friends Kurt and Gert warmly inside through the big picture window at Kurt's home. In an instant, Jazmine felt alone. She had to walk in the cold, blustery weather, unsure of what or when her next meal would be. Jazmine hesitated but took small steps into the dark, cold, damp day. It felt as if she had walked for hours. Then she heard the soft, faint sound of a whimper. Who could it be? It must be someone who understands the feeling of being alone too. As she trotted closer, she saw a handsome black and brown friend with a beautiful curved tail. Their eyes met and immediately they became friends. She didn't care whether he was a pedigree or not. What counts is that he could understand what it felt to be alone in need of a friend. Her fear melted when her eyes met Bagel's again. "What's your name?" she asked timidly. "My name is Bagel," he said boldly. "What's yours?" he continued. "Jazmine," she said. "It's good to meet a friend and not be alone." "I'm suddenly hungry. I know a cook who makes great food," Jazmine stated enthusiastically to Bagel. "Let's eat and plan our next adventure out of the cold," she continued. Jazmine had taken Bagel to her favorite restaurant. Most importantly, they were out of the cold. Jazmine and Bagel heard the chop, chop, chop of the cook's knife as it cut through the vegetables. It was as if the knife chopping and cutting through the vegetables made an extremely loud noise. Perhaps it was only the idea skating through Bagel's head. "Shh," said Bagel to Jazmine. "Think, what does the chop, chop, chop also sound like?" "It almost sounds like the noise a train makes leaving a train station or a train stop. Maybe after dinner we should jump on a train," Bagel asked Jazmine. "There has to be somewhere we can go," Jazmine asked worriedly. Quickly, she had to reply to her own question. "Bagel, let's get out of the chilly, chilly weather," commented Jazmine. Excitedly, he replied, "That's a whopping great idea. What about Florida, Texas, or Arizona? Do you know somewhere warm, Jazmine?" "Before we decide what to do or where to go, let's ask the cook's advice, Bagel," Jazmine replied. Laughing and laughing, Bagel continued. He could not restrain himself from rolling over and over. "Jazmine," Bagel responded, "why can't we discuss where we should go? We know as much as the cook does. Maybe you are afraid of losing something, or are you afraid of trusting yourself?" "Although I am worried about leaving Mert Lane," Jazmine stopped suddenly. She coughed and was choking back tears. Yet her thoughts kept filling softly through her mind, one right after the other. She took a deep breath and continued slowly. "I am afraid of losing you, Bagel. I'm afraid of not having adventures and not having experiences with you." "I know we're good friends and thoroughly enjoy each other's company," Bagel commented. "Wouldn't it be fun for both of us to make new friends?" "I won't forget you, silly. We will be together." "You ought not look at this as losing anything," Bagel warned. "We will be exploring." Again, it's our adventure, he thought. Jazmine decided to phone Kurt from the restaurant without saying anything to Bagel. She anticipated Gert would be with Kurt, so she would have to yell with excitement only once. She yelled as if she had never screeched or exclaimed out loud before. "Kurt, when I saw you and Gert by your picture window, I was huffing and puffing with jealousy. Because you had a friend and I was alone in the chilly weather." Jazmine's fearful thoughts kept racing. She kept reminding herself that this was an adventure and she won't lose Bagel. "This is an adventure and I won't lose Bagel," she repeated again to herself. She finally blurted out, "Bagel and I are going on an adventure and I won't lose Bagel. Will I, Kurt?" "There is a gaffe in your thinking, Jazmine," Kurt said politely. "I know it's rough and tough to be alone, as you just explained. However, you can be alone in a group or a crowd," he continued. "Secondly, I think you are trying to tell me you have met a friend and you are excited about your adventure. Remember, Jazmine, we were your friends first. You never lost our friendship, even though you were jealous." "Rough," she replied Jazmine, laughing and coughing at the same time. "From this day forward, Kurt, I plan to laugh at all the things that make me worry because I have friends and one named Bagel. I also promise not to be jealous because I have beautiful things too."
Psycho.